You know what?
Good morning.
Good
That was
morning.
a serious intro.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I
you've been
waited for
look.
him to do the
I forgot you
outro.
haven't seen it. You've been gone for a second.
Oh my
Okay.
God. I'm sitting here like, dang, if you see that popping up on your screen, you finna stop to see what's going on.
Okay. Great
Oh
job,
my
So
Mario.
God, that was crazy. I was like, that was so cool.
so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We have again Tisha Jordan and back with us our partner in crime, Miss Leah Smith. And
I
she's
miss
been
you
so
guys.
busy with her new venue that she forgot about us little
No,
people.
I did not. No, I did.
She
But
just
no,
been a
we're
little
glad to have
busy.
her back on the show. She was when we
She just
first
been a
started
little
this thing,
busy.
we were the Three Musketeers, and so she's back with us. So
Mhm.
um, it's exciting to be able to have her back on the show. And
It's
today we're going
exciting
to
to be
talk
here.
about why she's been away from the show, which is the Diamond Venue. Um, so Leah, what's going on? What's going on? Tell us a little bit of something.
Welcome
What's going?
back, Lay. Welcome
Girl,
back.
right?
We missed you, boo.
I
I
miss
love you
y'all
so
too. It's
much.
been a minute. It's been a minute. So it's been a little it's been surreal. It's been a little, you know how we say when things start happening, it's a little cray cray. It's a little cray cray. It's been, I think for me, Mario, I think from the first time that I even because he was the first person I called when I
Yeah,
got this
you sure
gig,
did.
I was like, and then when we just put it out there, I wasn't even prepared to do a video. You know, he always come ready, right?
I know.
He's like, I'm going to get my iPad right now. We finna do this video. He couldn't believe it. So did the video. It went viral, which was amazing. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
really,
was.
really viral. And then he calls me, says, Larry, you done broke the internet. And I was like, what you mean? What you mean? He was like, man, it's going off the chain. And I was like, wow, you know what? That's just God.
Yes.
I have to just give it all. I'm glad for the journey, but
Mm-hmm.
the truth of it all is it belongs all to him because
Amen.
we couldn't do
Amen.
any of it, nothing that we do without the gifts that he gave us.
That's
Period.
right.
And it's an amazing journey. It's an amazing journey. It really is. We've been doing a lot of stuff.
Cool. Well, um, and I'm sure that because you've only been open a few short months right
Four.
now, but yeah. But I've seen some gorgeous pictures. I've seen some beautiful stuff. And I need people to understand is that's your work, correct? Your decorating work. I need y'all to understand Leia is not only running the facility, she is a decorator. And I don't mean like, oh, she pull out a couple. No, she's real, a
Yeah,
real decorator.
a lot of it is what we do because we have
Mm-hmm.
packages and stuff that we can offer
Mm-hmm.
to clients when they come in, and a lot of it, half of it is what the people come in when they have their own decorators and stuff come in as well. So it's like a
Okay.
collab of both of us doing things for the client to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch. So one thing you got to realize too is that when you're managing a venue, a lot of times most of the clients come in, they'll probably have someone else to come in and do things, but then
Mm-hmm.
once they see what we can do, they'll be like, okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
do y'all mind doing this part of it? Can y'all do the floral work? Can y'all do the linens and this? And then
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, a lot of times they end up just being us, period. So
Got you. Got you.
it kind of goes hand in hand. We help and then we sometimes do everything. So we put it
Got you.
out there as if we're available to make sure that everything goes accordingly. And then if it's something that's missing, you know how we do, Tish. We ain't gonna let it
Yeah.
go by. But so
Mm-mm.
far, even if a planner comes in there, they don't have everything. We know we do, so we're gonna probably, yeah, let's just add this here a little bit to it, just so
Mm-hmm.
it look accordingly the way we really want it to look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
what
you. I'm with you. I'm
we
with
do.
you.
Hmm.
Now, also, with the venue, um, the other expertise that you bring in, other than because we're gonna touch on planner part too,
Mhm.
Hmm.
but the catering,
Oh yeah.
y'all got to understand this lady is deep
Yeah,
Hmm.
we
with
got to talk about that catering
customer
because
service.
I heard some great things about that catering.
Okay, I mean, I can tell you some good things about that catering
Yeah.
myself. Leia, no, I done had that food several times. I'm just telling you, it's real like that.
Yeah,
And I'm,
my husband does a great job with that
mm-hmm,
part. I mean, he's really good at what he loves to cook. He's he's really good at what my thing is the presentation of it, because I ain't doing but so much food. I mean, I may deal with the desserts and things like that and the setup and stuff, but he is all of it for the food and stuff. I mean, he's great at what he does. He's even more pickier than me.
Got you.
If it ain't right, he ain't gonna do it. He's not gonna make it at all. It's got to be prestige. It's got to be good. If he ain't gonna eat it, he ain't gonna serve it.
I know that's right.
And he can make just about everything. So yeah.
Excellent. Mario?
Yeah, because this explain, and because I had a lot of people who asked me about your services for that. I mean, right now, everything I get questions about is all these services that you're offering at the Diamond, and I'd be like, they asking me, and I'm like, dang, I need to find out about this, because I didn't know you were doing all that. Because like the catering, from my understanding, because you have your own kitchen now, y'all able to do a lot more for the catering side of it. I mean, I'm hearing that you're doing way more than what you were doing before. Is that true?
Yeah, we can do pretty much everything now. I mean, we can do your desserts now. We can do your in-house catering. We can do all that stuff. And like I said, they're welcome to have someone else come in and do it. I mean, it's an option. You don't have to hire us to do it, but the option is there that we are there. Because to me, sometimes when you have everything in-house, it saves you money and it saves you time from running around looking for other people to do stuff and then having everybody to come. And you have one person control of everything, and their group of family will be there to take care of you. The only thing you got to do is show up. But we're doing pretty good with the catering stuff. We've had a lot of events that just kind of like pop up. And then at the very last minute, they need catering, or that's the good thing about us being able to do it.
Got you.
Because that's what, like I would explain to them as like, I knew because I saw when they were bringing all the stuff in for the kitchen. I was like, oh man, y'all about to blow some stuff up with all this stuff in here. I'm like, man. So, well, but as far as
I've worked pretty much a little bit everywhere, and most places have a setup area for the food and stuff, but I wanted my setup area to be a little bit more different and a little bit more feasible for people who either come in catering or if we're there, so you'll be able to warm up stuff. We have a stove and stuff, and there's a refrigerator, there's a warmer, there's a prep area, there's a catering area. So you'll be able to have access to a little bit more things that I would want to have access to if I was going to another venue and cater. Because some venues, they don't even really have a prep area. And when you go in there and you're setting up, so my first question to ask my client is that, is there a kitchen there? Is there a place for us to put the overflow of food at, so that we'll be able to like go back in and replenish what we need to bring to the front, because we need to go to the back of the house. Is there some place like that? And they'll be like, no, they don't have a place. They have a small little place. And I'm like, okay, so now we have to rethink everything. So we have to come with warmers. We have to come with coolers that warm to keep the food hot. There's different things that we have to come up with. So when we did the venue, these are the things that we asked for, so that we can make sure that not only us be able to do everything in decency and order. Anyone that comes into the venue that needs,
and I was just going to ask you that,
right, to these things will always have access to them. So that's the good part. Yeah.
A lot of venues that I'm familiar with will they'll have like a preferred vendors list, right? And I'm specifically going to go to catering right now. And some of them have requirements for caterers that are coming into the facility, and some of them will have like financial requirements that they charge for outside catering. Can you tell us a little bit about Diamond's rules about that?
Okay, so we don't do it.
Gotcha.
We've had several people come in and ask us, do we if we wanted an outside caterer, do we charge them? Like some people charge $300 or $500 if they're using an outside source because we have the inside source. No, that's not what we're going to do.
Gotcha.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
That's being vendor friendly right there.
Yeah.
Nobody else understands.
I don't feel that you have to pay someone the amount of money that you would pay for another service just for someone to come in to do the service. on top of that service. No,
Yeah.
that's not. That's always been a little bit of one of my, like, I have a lot of pet peeves now. We do.
Yeah, we
About
do.
different places that we've gone to about their things and stuff. So when we got the opportunity to manage the Diamond venue, we took all of that,
That's right. That master list. Yes.
everything that we don't like, and we
Mhm.
put it all into the Diamond venue so that it can run without ease. We
Right.
don't have that issues.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
No,
Because
absolutely
that's
not.
what someone had asked that question, and I said I'm not 100% sure on that. And I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people were thinking that you had to pay for to bring in an outside. And I said no, I don't think you have to pay for because then I said I only know one venue that does that. So I was
Well, we
like,
know
no.
quite a few, but
We know.
we ain't
Yeah,
gonna name
there's quite a few of them that do it.
it. We're not
The
gonna
venue,
name
really?
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Because here's
It's
the deal.
I mean,
And here's the deal with the preferred
Listen.
vendors list. When you have a venue, when this is for any client, potential client, whatever, when you go to a venue and they have a preferred vendors list, 7.5 to 9 times out of 10, those vendors are having to pay that venue a percentage of the money that they're charging you for your services. So
really?
you're hiring the caterer, you're hiring the cake place person, you're hiring the DJ through that venue and
Oh,
through
wow.
their preferred vendors list.
Yeah,
9 times out of 10, that vendor is having to pay that venue.
they have to give them a percentage, and then the thing about that is that, see, my thing is that because I'm a planner first.
Yeah.
Okay. And the thing is that I do so many different ethnic events. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're saying to someone and you're going to a venue and you're telling them that they only have 4 caterers, or these are the caterers that you have to choose from. The problem comes in is, what if you really have someone that is of a different ethnic race of people?
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? That may not like American food, Italian food, or they may have a kosher diet. Then they have to have certain things and things like that. What do you do then? You know what I'm saying?
And not every caterer can match
handle
those
that.
things.
Exactly. Can handle that. So that is like one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm glad, some venues will bend. Some of them will bend because it's a different ethnic group of people and they need to, but then that should be ringing a bell in your head. Ding, 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 ding.
Like,
ding.
maybe you should not have a restricted list like that.
Exactly.
As long as people are like to me
dealing with food.
Yeah, but I feel like if you got the safe serve and your license and insured, it should be okay.
Yeah, it should be.
Especially if a client is wanting to bring that caterer in because it fits their needs.
It should be. It really should be.
Should. I love it. I love it that you have that. See what Leia brings to this. Everybody who's watching or listening, what she brings to this venue is the experience of a planner, the knowledge of a decorator, and then the know-how of a caterer. So she knows from each of those aspects what it takes to have a successful event. You know what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with, now this is not to knock any other planner, caterer, decorator, nobody else. This is not to knock anybody. But when you go to a venue like this venue and you have someone with that kind of experience, how many years, Leia?
Oh, about 20.
When you have somebody with that kind of experience and mind you, we're not perfect, but I'm telling you something, we've learned some stuff over these 20-something years.
Oh my God, girl, I'm still learning.
So
still learning. That's the good thing about that's the good thing about being honest about what you do.
That's right.
I would never tell someone I know everything, but I do know what I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Amen. I've taught this for 8 years. I've taught event planning for 8 years, and I'm still teaching online. But I know what I know. But I would not ever tell anyone that I know everything because I still want to learn stuff. There's, stuff changes. There's new trends. There's new things going on.
And we love to do classes. We love to take classes.
Girl, let me tell you something. When's the next one? Let me sign up. I want to see. And even if I did know it, I still want to go see. I still want to go see because I love getting taught and I love to teach. See,
Mhm.
that's a true person right there.
That's right. That's right.
That's the
And
true person. You love to get taught and you love to teach. Yeah,
there you go.
you 100%.
And my thing about that, just kind of touching on that for the diamond venue, is that when they get, okay, there are other venues in town. I'm not going to name names. I'm just going to say there's other venues in town that would say they offer a day of coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a planner.
No,
A day of coordinator. That's not a decorator.
no, not unless you
Like
ask her for that.
when you walk into this venue, she already got all them hats on.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Many
So
hats, yeah.
when they come into your venue, even if they don't need all the services, you can
Mm-hmm.
assist them or direct them or point them in the right direction on how to
Yeah,
get certain things done. Now,
yeah.
I'm not knocking the DIY brides or the do-it-yourself brides, whatever, because there are some of those out there.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when you've got somebody that has that level of experience, it is always a wise thing to take heed to what they're telling you some things
Mhm.
about. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is. It
Absolutely.
is. Because I make a lot of times I make suggestions. I'll be
Mhm.
like, okay, let me just make you a suggestion because I see that you getting ready to hit a wall and you don't even know it.
Gotcha.
Let me just stop you and say this and say that. Now you can take heed to what I'm saying and you can do whatever you want to do because at the end of the day, I rented you the space. But still, and still in that matter, I would not be who I am if I would not make a suggestion.
There you go.
Okay. And it's just
That
something
goes
that
back to the education part, that teaching
yeah,
part. That's what it goes.
it's just something that I do. I mean, like I said, not everybody that comes in there with my expertise
Hmm.
for me to expect what they're getting ready to do. Some things I'll be like, yeah, okay, well, that's what they wanted, and I'm happy for them. Long as the event went beautiful and they had a great time, that's my biggest concern. That they had a great time. I probably could have done something differently, but that's not who the person that they hired to do it. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And I respect them for that. They just do what you can, and at the end of the day, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you chose us to have your event space for your
Yes.
event. Yeah,
So we've got these pictures up, Mario. Thank you for that.
No
This
problem.
is actually the venue undressed, so to speak.
Yes, it's undressed. It's just
Hmm.
actually, yeah, that is just with the tables and the chairs in there.
But do y'all see that floor? Girl,
I
that
know
floor
it's
got
like
me turned
it's like
out.
glass, right?
I love it.
Look, make you want to take your shoes off and go sliding.
Right.
Give me some good hang socks on. I'm sliding.
Yes. Do that little video that you slide and do.
I know that's right.
You
I
can
love
do,
it.
but well,
And those chandeliers, Leia,
oh,
girl,
they was a gift. They were beautiful.
they are gorgeous.
Yeah, they did a great
Absolutely
job.
gorgeous. So we also got is this the wedding packages here?
That
These
is
are the
a
packages,
wedding.
right?
That is our wedding Wednesday package. What we did was we put together a package for the week because
Hmm.
now the weekdays are the new wedding weekends.
Okay.
A lot of people are having events during the week now, which is a great thing because
Hmm.
for one thing, they're not paying as much as they would want to pay for the venue during the weekends because the
I
weekends,
understand.
period, it's very expensive. It's
Yes,
expensive.
always gonna be higher.
But during the week, we're breaking it down where you can actually get a lot of the inclusive stuff that we offer.
Hmm.
So in those packages, there are three different packages that would include an inclusive package to go with it if you wanted to get married at the diamond.
Now, when you say it's inclusive package, tell me a little bit about
Some
what's in the
of
package.
them, some of them include photography.
Hmm.
Some of them, all of them include the venue price.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So that's the main thing. The venue is
Hmm.
already taken care of in the price.
Hmm.
Oh wow.
The
Okay.
yes. So that's the main part of it. The venue is taken care of in the price. Some of the packages include the photography for your a small photo session.
Hmm.
Some of them include wine. Some of them include gift baskets. Some of them include a catering menu,
Hmm.
but I think it's for heavy hors d'oeuvres or something. And some of them include a wedding cake or cupcakes,
Gotcha.
whichever they decide.
And that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot to give. And it's during the week. It has to be during the week. And it's a minimum amount of people. So it's not like you can have 100 people. Or
yeah, I got you. More like maybe 30 to 40.
But the inclusiveness is what's important. That you're actually going to get a full blown out wedding. You know what I'm saying? With maybe a minimum of 50 guests or less. I think it's less. I'm not remembering exactly how many people I put each package.
So it's not exactly a micro.
It's like a micro wedding.
Yeah, it's a little, maybe a little bit more people. Right. Yeah, I got you.
Exactly.
Now I'm looking at this. If I'm reading this correctly, that's 1,500, 2,500, and 3,500.
Yeah.
You can. I need people to understand.
You cannot beat that.
Venues are costing you $3,500
just for the venue space.
Right.
Just for the venue space itself.
Yes.
Now that doesn't include
nothing else.
Linens and decorating and having someone come and do balloon work. And caterer and all that kind of stuff. That's why I really thought really hard about doing the package for the Wedding Wednesdays, because people, I'm thinking about people's budgets. I'm thinking about people who want to have a beautiful thing, but really can't afford to have a beautiful thing, but they still want to have a beautiful thing. So I used to do this a while ago when one of my other mentors was still here. Her name was Corky. And she always told me, do something big, but make it small and elegant. And that's what we came up with, this idea of doing these little mini weddings that everybody was doing. And I was like, well, let's make it inclusive. That was her big word. Make it inclusive. Offer so much more than what you can actually get. Because I don't know, you can't go anywhere for about 40 people and get what we're getting ready to give you.
No,
it's just not going to happen. I mean,
let's be realistic.
The price alone is just for the space.
Like the price for the space is going to be $2,500, $3,500. Just minimum,
right?
Minimum. If that's what's going to start.
That we charge for Fridays and Saturdays at the venue. It's $2,500, $2,850 with the security and the cleaning. But yeah, that's about right. And then that only gives you the tables and the chairs
and the building.
That's
it. Okay. That's it. Now here's the other thing about the I'm really wanting people to see the value of what you're offering. You know what I'm saying? And I really want them to see the elegance of what you're offering as well. But I'm gonna hit on one part of it. Is the diamond package the one that includes the food, the heavy hors d'oeuvres? Okay, I'm gonna say this out loud. The average cost, and Mario, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, the average cost of a catered event, I'm gonna say in general for heavy hors d'oeuvres, can run you about $32 to $45 per person.
Now, yes, because the prices,
everything is high. Everything is up.
Everything has gone up. Right. And here's the thing with that. Now that is only maybe five items.
I wouldn't even think it'd beyond 5.
Yeah, maybe about that many, because everything has skyrocketed.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking 40 times 40. That's a hunk. That don't even like. That's a hunk. So in that package, that's up there. That is amazing.
Yeah, but this, and I just want to make sure, I want people to understand that this is just Wednesday and Thursday, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's an extremely great deal.
It's an extremely great deal. I mean, for anybody out there that we got so many people to come in. Well, I don't want this people to come, and now, so why don't you have something small and intimate?
Right.
Make it small and intimate. You don't need everybody in the world to be there. You really don't. You need to have the most important people. If you have kids, then let the kids come.
Right.
Mother, father, that's about it. And we also, I have my minister's license now.
All right, girl.
Oh wow! I'm going to start calling you Transformer. Okay, go ahead.
Right. Okay.
It's about them hats now. It's about them hats.
I'm telling you.
So we also have, we also have officiant services. My girlfriend Karen is one of my officiants as well, and she has her ministry license as well. I mean, between me and her both, I mean, yeah, we can marry you. We can do your event. We can cater for you. We can do practically. Only thing I need for you to do is actually pick the date and show up.
There you go.
Pick the date and show up, and we can take care of everything else.
I'm good right now. I'm good. I'm ready.
We can pretty much take care of everything else. And it's hard to find. It's hard to find because Tish, you the same way as I am. It's hard to find those that can actually do everything that you need to get done, or actually have a vendor family like we do that we can call on people to make sure that they're going to be there for this particular event and pull it off.
Yes, that's right. My sister drove to Mooresville for me before. I'm just saying. Don't think I didn't forget my bag.
I mean, come on. I mean, and I cherish all of my vendor family because we've cried together. We vented together. We done discussed. I mean, I can't even tell you how many really, really close planners that I have that I consider not just a planner, but a sister planner. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can call me anytime you need me. Oh my God, Leah, I need to see. I'm in trouble. I got to do this here. Don't worry, I got you. If I got it, me and you do that all the time.
Okay.
We have done that all the time. I mean, it's important.
Quick, Leah, I got the so-and-so and I don't have so-and-so. Oh my God, girl, I got to go to storage. Let me go get it for you. Please. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, if I can get it, I'm gonna get it.
There you go. I'm sorry, Mara. We just going.
Oh no, y'all good. Cause I'm up here because I'm doing this, and then at the same time I'm actually monitoring what's going on with Facebook. So y'all doing good.
Oh, okay,
good.
I'm doing good. Trust me, I know when I look. I'm gonna get a moment in here in a second because there's some questions I had to ask in reference to like what kind of issues are you running into as far as your bookings? Are you getting a lot of people calling you to book?
Oh, that is a good question. Who asked that question? That was a good one. Because let me tell you, yes and no. Let me tell you about the bookings. Okay, so we do get the bookings to come in and people book and stuff like that. And I think sometimes people get a little bit overwhelmed with the fact that it's a new space and oh my God, I want to have this there and I want to have this there. And then come to find out in the long run, you can't do it. So we have to end up canceling the event. So yeah, we have I don't think we had many, but we had a few to call in and decide that they don't want to or anything like that. But again, how I used to talk, me and Tish used to talk about our contracts. A lot and having different clauses and stuff in the contracts and stuff. So the thing is that people are wanting your dates. And then when you give them the date and then something occurs to where they can't have the date, it's difficult. So we try to keep a list of other people that have required for that same date. So in case something happens where somebody can't take this date or they can't do it anymore, or whatever reason, we have another client that may possibly still want that date because they have inquired about it.
That is good. So almost like a wait list.
Right. So it's like a waiting list. So they'll, give us a certain amount of time, or we'll make a phone call just to secure, especially if that person hadn't put down a deposit yet.
Got you.
So if you got a date on the calendar and you haven't put down a deposit yet, you're going to get a phone call. Okay? Because we need to find out first, are you still wanting this date? I don't even care if it's next year. If you want the date, you need to put a deposit down.
You got to secure
the date. Okay? Yeah. If you don't secure the date, you're automatically removed from that date.
Mario has said it time and time again.
I don't have time to
don't have the date.
We don't have time to hold dates.
No.
Even if it's a year from now, if you don't secure it. Telling me that you want it and putting it down on paper and me sending you a contract, I did my part.
Right.
Okay. Your part is to read the contract, and I mean read the contract.
Every single word and
Because
every
I
single
get people
line.
that come and they just sit. We sent the contract back to you, and did you read it? Yeah, we read it. I was like, okay, you initial everything, but then you come back and say, I didn't know this, but did you read the contract?
Mm-hmm.
Did you understand what you was initialing?
That's been
No,
our pet
you
peeve
didn't.
for
You did
years,
not. Or else you would know that your deposit is not refundable.
Right.
and it's not.
Oh,
And
It's
that's
that's
the
not.
it.
thing. I can't hold dates for
Hey,
years or
Cheryl.
months out on the end before it cannot. You cannot do that. It's absolutely imperative that you understand that when people have businesses, people, I don't care if you don't have a venue. All I know is that if you're doing a service for someone and someone is requiring you to be that person that they're hiring, whether it's DJing, whether it's catering, whether it's a planner, whether it's a day of coordinator, and you sign a contract, then you need to be ready to pay that deposit because that's securing them for your date. Because if someone else comes in and say, well, listen, I want you on June 3rd, and I look on June 3rd and I see that nobody didn't make a deposit on June 3rd. Are you ready to make a deposit, ma'am? Yes. Okay, well, guess what? It's your date.
There you go.
Right. And I
That's
think
exactly how that works.
that kind of like brings me to my next question. How far in advance are you allowing people to book?
Oh, they can book as far as they want to. I mean, they can do into next year and they could, go to the year after. I mean, it doesn't matter. The point is that at a certain time, once I send you the contract, you have that week to either set up a time that you're going to make a deposit or make the deposit within that time.
Right.
Hmm.
And I think we all have that same policy. Like mine is 7 days. After 7 days after you're getting your presentation, you have
Yeah,
to make
because
a
see,
line.
I'm not charging you for that, which
Mhm.
I can. You understand what I'm saying? See, the thing about what most people don't understand is that we can actually charge a consultation fee. When you come into the venue, I can say, well, here, it's $25, $50 for you to come and view the venue because we don't have time to waste when someone is coming there just asking questions and just, but we don't.
Being nosy.
Well,
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you now.
We
And I'm gonna
don't
be
because
honest.
we're open.
I'm gonna say this: and if you are a venue and you're charging someone for consultation fee, um, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put it up. You're definitely you're not paying attention to your customer needs.
Well,
Um,
this is what I'm saying. We
right,
don't do that, and there's places that do. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But we
No,
don't.
and and those
We're
Charlotte,
most of the
open.
time those
We're
places
Raleigh,
that
open so that you can
Durham,
come in and look around and enjoy what we have
Wilmington.
to offer.
right, and you see most of the places that charge like that are probably some of the worstest venues or for worstest type of
They're
places.
not vendor friendly.
Right.
Mm-mm.
I
And
can
so
tell
that's
you
why I
that.
say because when those are red flags, when you hear someone charging for consultation fee, that's a
Yep.
red flag that you might not
For
want to
the
do business.
venue.
You might not want
Yeah.
to do business for that
Yeah.
venue
Yeah.
with that venue because that to me, I think that's
Yeah. Because
extremely wrong.
I've had people come to me and say that when we had to pay this to come and see this place, and I'm like, to see what? It's to come and see a facility as to where we were going to have an event. And I was like, well, this is the first time I've ever heard of that. And like I know
Yeah, I've never. That's the first
planners,
time I heard
Me
that
too,
too. I've
yeah.
never heard that before.
planners can charge if you coming in to see me or whatever. And I don't even do that. You know what I'm saying? I just give you a certain amount of time, give you an hour, 30 minutes in an hour of
Hmm.
my time. But if we're meeting on one or more occasions, then okay, hey,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But I was like, this is the first time I've ever heard anything like that. And then when I looked into it, and I was like, wow, this is for real.
Yeah.
And I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, okay. I said, well, okay. I said, well, like I said, there's new stuff popping up all the time. So, I guess it all depends on how you put things in perspective.
Right.
Sometimes you can do a little bit too much to tear people away,
Right.
Hmm.
then you're really actually bringing them to your place. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're definitely open. You can come by. You can make an appointment to come and see us. We're normally there between 11 and 6 o'clock in the evening, Tuesdays through Friday.
All right,
Unless we have
girl.
an event. Yeah, unless we have an event, then we close the venue. But other than that, yeah. So we try to stay open an hour after people get off of work
Hmm.
because we do have people that get off of work and they can't come on their lunch break or something like that. So we try to stay open, sometimes, and it's getting summertime too. So we've been leaving the venue like about 7 now.
And that's
Again,
the next question to ask was,
vendor friendly.
is when is it, like, if someone was going to do an event, how early in advance, like how far out are you booking? Because I guess the question that someone's asking is, are you like, if someone's doing an event, and say in 2024, how many months in advance do they need to come in and book your venue?
ASAP, I would think.
Yeah, they need to do that like
No, but
ASAP.
this is for our last minute planners, because this is which I'm gonna talk about that a little bit as well. People who procrastinate.
Mhm.
And what's been going on lately, and I'm not sure if you've been seeing, I know, like, I've been dealing with this for the last couple of days, is people are trying to book events the month of the event. And I don't know why. I'm gonna put it out there. If you are one of these individuals that have called me for the last, I would say, last 72 hours trying to book an event the month of the event, your chances are going to be slim to none. So, like,
It really is because see, people people book a year out.
okay,
They book a year out to 6 months to a year out. Okay. It's very rare that you're going to get someone to come in and try to book something that month. And if it does happen, it'll be by the grace of God that they'll be able to get anything, because it's so tight. Not to say that it can't happen, because I've had events where someone will come in there, and this is when I was just doing planning. Someone will come in there and I'll be like, "When is your event?" And they'll tell me it's Friday. I was like, "Well, what Friday?" "This Friday." I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me." Not that I know that I couldn't pull it off, but you're getting ready to pay me, because this is an extreme. This is not enough time to really to really set everything off and plan everything. You talking about working 24 hours in a week, a day.
and I think that's one of the things, because I know that a lot of people who have been calling, let's say, that wanted to use a diamond, and I was like, I said, well, you know what? I said, you can call in and see. I said, but chances are slim to none you're not going to be able to get, especially on a Saturday. I
Yeah,
tell
you
people
can forget. Yeah, but Saturdays is like really, really tough. I've had quite a few people call and ask for this month and next month, and a lot of those dates are already gone.
Right. Uh-oh. She dropped off.
Give her a second.
I know.
Give her a second. I don't know. My internet is acting pretty good today. I don't know what's going on. It's been actually nice today. So
did I pop out?
Yeah,
there we go. There you go.
What was I talking about? Oh, the dates. We did have a lot of people come call us, and the dates that they wanted were already booked. And like I said, we're open 7 days a week. We can have an event 7 days a week. That's another reason why the Wedding Wednesday flyer is up, because even though it's not gonna, it doesn't have to be a wedding. It could be, whatever.
A birthday party.
Right. But
retirement event. Yeah.
Anything. But the thing is that we try to push them towards, we may have a Friday open. We may have that Sunday open. The Friday or Saturday prices are the same, but the Sunday prices is a little bit different, and throughout the week is different. So I have a little bit more wiggle room to help you with your event if you're able to switch it to another day.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because that's one of the biggest things is that I try to stress to people. Like, I mean, and when I say I receive a large volume of phone calls where people are calling me, asking me, do I know any venues that might be available this Friday or next Saturday or something? I mean, like, I tell them point blank, I say, I'm gonna be honest with you. The real popular venues are most likely not going to be available on a Saturday within the same week. I said, so I give them that full listing. And so, like, with your venue, and I always tell them, if you want to get your venue, all of the venues that are high, like in a very high demand, you need to book at least a year in advance. At least you're safe. I said, now it's getting to the point where 1 year safe might not be safe, but I said, as soon as you pops up your head, you want to do something, you immediately need to reach out and start booking at least your venue. Your vendors, that might be a little bit different, but your venue, you need to get that first, because without the venue,
you need to book your venue first, and then look for everyone else.
Yeah.
Look for your planner second, your caterer third, and then most likely the planner is going to be the decorator or the planner is going to have the decorator, either one,
DJ,
and the DJ.
photographer.
Right, they're going to
Ooh,
have everybody
yeah.
in their family. So most definitely.
And someone asked, and I don't know the answer to this question because I've done a lot of work downtown. What are there any restrictions for your area for as far as parking?
For
That's kind of.
our
I mean,
area, we don't.
I don't think you run into that situation that like all the other venues do.
Yeah,
No,
you
we
have
don't
your
have.
own parking area.
Right.
Yeah, we have a parking lot.
Mhm.
We also use our barbershop parking as well, and then right down the street is the city's parking. So I mean, it's really not. We don't really have a restriction. Like you don't have to pay for parking or anything like that. And then
Right. That's what I thought. 'Cause I said I don't think you have to worry about that because you're not
no,
you're not all the way downtown.
mm-mm,
Okay.
absolutely no, no, absolutely not. We don't have to worry about that part.
And then the other question, I already know the answer to this one is you don't there do you have a ABC license?
The ABC license are our bartenders are ABC certified. Okay.
Okay.
And you can only go through our bartenders. You can't have another bartender come in unless it's one that we're very familiar with, and that's Mike. So unless it's him or our personal bartenders, those are the only ones that we do allow in the venue. And you have to go through our licensing to get it.
Now, when she
You
says Mike, we're
still
talking about Mike
like the
Gordon
travel.
from the
Yes.
traveling bartender.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
unless it's him or the ones that have taken off the ABC certification classes and are
Mhm.
ABC certified, then there's no other bartender that can come in there.
So so they don't have to go through the state. They can just come through you for getting their permit.
No, they do. They do. No, they come through us to get the bartender, but the ABC certification that they're needing for their 1 day permit is what they have to get from Raleigh.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
they still have to have that permit from Raleigh.
Okay.
Hmm.
So that was one question. And then the other question is, um, do you have a and I mean my thing is if you're at 12 hours, that's kind of that kind of sub well, I'm not gonna say it. Let me ask the question because I already know the answer to this one too. Do you have a limitation on time? Everything you does that. But go ahead.
Um, Not really. The thing is that because, like I said, here we go, Tish, with our time thing. We both know how important it is to have enough time to come in and
Right.
set up
Correct.
stuff, depending on what we got to do. Because I mean, if it's a whole shebang that we got, I mean,
We need
backdrops and
2-3
all of
days.
this other kind of stuff, I'm I may need a week. But the thing is, we talking about the venue's time. So
Oh
if the
yes.
venue is telling me that we need an hour, that ain't gonna work for me. I'm trying to tell you right now, you're gonna have to pay for the extra 4 hours because I'm gonna need at least 4 hours to come in because it's gonna be an hour alone
I say that all the
just
time.
to take the stuff off the trailer.
Right.
Just to unload is an hour. Then it's about 30 minutes to set everything up to where you wanted to go. And now we in setup mode. So now we in setup mode and saying that it's gonna be another 2.5 hours before we can finish this room to be exactly. So yeah, we're gonna need about
And we'll
five
be
hours.
going 100 miles an hour the whole dang time.
Right, exactly. To set everything up accordingly to what we expect ourselves to give to you.
Mhm.
So if you want it done correctly. So in saying that, with me doing the venue, I allow them to come in from 10 o'clock is the earliest that you can get in. And then you must leave by midnight.
And the reason why that
That's
question
14 hours.
Right.
right.
So if you telling me that so I'm for one thing, I'm giving you enough time to come in and decorate. Your event is in that time period. So if your event is from 4 to whatever, 4 to 9, 4 to 10, or wherever it is, whatever time you have to come in there, plus your event time, and then you need time to break down and get
Breakdown.
out.
That's right.
Okay. So you have enough time to get it done. So I don't care what time it starts. I just know that you have from 10 o'clock that morning to 12
So
o'clock
midnight.
midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing too is I want to stress this because this just happened to me as a vendor, and I want people to understand what I just asked because and what you just explained. There is not too many vendor or venues that are flexible with their time.
No, there
No.
is not.
Perfect example, and I'm gonna say this is Fort Bragg probably has the worst. I'm gonna say this the worst customer service when it comes towards the vendors. They're
Mhm.
not vendor friendly.
No, they
And
aren't.
when I say they're not vendor friendly, um, the customer does not have any say so on their times.
Mm-mm.
Um, I just this past weekend they put me out on the sidewalk because their time was 1 o'clock. So it only would have took me 20 more minutes to have my stuff out of their venue, but I had to put my stuff out on the sidewalk because their time was 1 o'clock. Now, keep in mind, let me explain the situation to you though. We had over 400 guests at this event, and it was a full size band, and we had to share the same door to upload and download our equipment. So if the band has to, again, the band has to download their equipment first before I can get to mine. That's not my fault, but they're not taking any consideration of
And
all the
that's not good. That's not good
That's not
etiquette
good
at
business.
all. That's
right.
not
And so that's
that's
why I
not
stress this
business.
to people.
That's
I'm, and
not.
I'm making this a point so people hear this and understand this is when you are dealing with a venue, you want to deal with a venue that's understanding. Like Iron Mike is not understanding. They are they are a perfect example of a military life. They do not care
Mm-mm.
in reference to because someone asked me, what if it was raining? I said, well, then that would have been an ugly situation.
Yeah,
So
because
I
I
want
mean,
people to understand that.
woo.
I want people to understand that you really want to go with a venue
Mhm.
that is going to work with the vendors. I know that whole situation. I mean, I hate. I'm gonna say it. I hate going on Fort Bragg because you have to go through this. This past weekend was probably the worst experience I've ever had. I went through the gate that was designated for me to go through was closed. They closed at 1 o'clock. So didn't know that. So then I went to All American Gate. Oh, All American Gate. Oh no, you have to go to Honeycutt Gate. So it took me almost 45 minutes just to get on Fort Bragg
Mm.
as a vendor. So then once I get on there, okay, again, we only have one door that we can use to download our equipment, which it kind of worked out, but it would have worked out better if they were to give the time that the band needed to set up. The band performance was bad because they didn't have the appropriate time to do a good sound check. They didn't give them the time they needed to set up.
See, that's see,
So
that's not good because when you have a venue, you have to say, okay, see, all right, so here's my thing, and I guess because it's a good thing that I'm a planner as well, because see, most people who own venues, they don't do anything but own the venue.
right,
Okay, so they're not considerate when it comes to the caterers issues, the DJs issues, or the planners issues. They don't care about any of that. They just say, well, here's a list of people that we know that can handle this here for you, but we're just run the venue, and that's that. And that's the bad part of it. But the good part of it is if you are the planner, you are the person that can actually do everything. Your common sense and your caring about other people that's coming in, as far as the vendors go, it makes it a little bit more easier for you to make it happen for your client. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying to you?
Yeah.
So that I hate that you even had to go through that, because
Me
I've
too.
gone through that before, where we only, Tisha, you can recognize what I'm saying, where we have gone to a venue and they told us that we only have an hour
right.
to set up and then an hour to break down. And I'm like, well, who the hell, where's this going to happen? That means we have to have triple the amount of people
Yeah.
to come in here and knock this out. So that means my client has to pay even more money, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good. I mean, you can't, you're not Houdini. We're not I Dream of Genie that we can, clap our hands
Okay. We
or
can't
do this
do it.
here, and all of a sudden
I've tried.
everything,
Can't
it
do it.
takes a lot of time. And
Mm-hmm.
even with Mario, with you breaking down your equipment and stuff, and then not even allowing the band to come in
The
after
lack
you
of
done paid
courtesy.
them, and they couldn't even do a sound check. See, okay, we're here at the Diamond. Okay, let me tell you, we had the most amazing event last Saturday, and it was the Street Soldiers 50th anniversary. And Shakur was the one that had promoted it and put it together. And when I tell you that gentleman did such an amazing job with what he did with he promised them, Miss Lay, I promise you I'm gonna have everything under control. And I said, okay, I'm gonna trust you because I see how much you got into this and you're going to do this. That place was amazing. First of all, I didn't even know that it was going to be that many bikers in there. The respect that these women and gentlemen had. I mean, it went off without a hitch so bad. I was like, wow, I got to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This was amazing. But let me tell you, you see, he had performers. He had performers come and things, and he had not performers, but he had the DJ and stuff there, and we allowed them to come in and set up, do your sound check, do whatever it is that you got to do, because you have to make sure that your presence and what you're getting ready to do is straight on.
Right. But see, I would say this, and then also because Hutch, because Hutch is one of your
Yes,
your VJs,
and he's
it's
another
like
one.
Hutch, because like Hutch, we both experienced because we both were there this weekend at
Mm-hmm.
the Iron Mike, and I know we are going to deal with the Iron Mike situation. I already told him my thing is I only got one more event out there, and I plan on not doing any more events out there.
Mm-hmm.
But what we like, because the same thing happened to Hutch, they didn't open till 2, and it didn't give him enough time for setup. So his event was ruined. So here it is. You have 2 events that were ruined because the venue would refuse to give us the time as vendors to set up.
Here's
But
the
see,
thing.
they need to
Wait a minute.
ask. That's why when you're owning a space and you're renting out a space, you really need to do. Remember, you know how I always say, do homework. That means you need to call vendors and you need to ask multiple vendors about approximately how much time would you need to set up,
But
so
here's the
that
thing.
you can give them accordingly. But they
Wait.
don't do that.
Wait, Leia. This is the thing right here that gets me. They paid Mario for his services.
Mm-hmm.
They paid me for my services. They paid you for your services. But a venue is not allowing us to do the job we were paid to do.
Right.
That's
What
a big
the heck
problem.
is that? What
And
is
that's
that?
why most of the time, in situations like that, that's why there's certain venues I just refuse to work with because, like I said, you can't say you're going to give us a time and then you renege on it. So that venue, of course, I'm not even going to say name. You already know what I'm talking about. That venue, so I
Yeah.
don't do business with them. And then you can't, as a venue, you can't, you can't be completely like disregard everybody else. I got my money. I don't care about nobody else. You're not
And
a
that's
team
the
player.
problem. That's the
That's like
problem.
you're not a team player. And see, to me,
Especially when you really, especially when you don't got nothing else going on but that particular event that day.
right? Because
It should not. It really should not be an issue. If you just have that one event that day,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you give them the appropriate amount of time that they need to have someone come in and set up, have the event, and have enough time to appropriately break down instead of stressing them.
People that they paid to do a service.
Exactly.
So now the customer
way too much
has
stress.
paid money, and then you can't do your service, so it falls on us and not the venue.
Yeah,
It makes us feel like we're bad, like we didn't do our job.
Mm-hmm.
But the venue
was very
what?
stressful.
And I think that's why I said now that when I have a venue that's not a team player, because the thing is, if as a team, if one of us fail, we all fail. We all look bad. Because like what my thing is, if the venue, and this is the reason why I'm real hardcore on venues, is when the venue is refusing to be a team player, then I can't. Then guess what? I can't be on your team. You can't be on my team. And I get it. All right, it's all about your time, your money. I understand that 100%. But at the same time, it's like you need to make that very crystal clear to the client. Don't trick the client into sign a contract, and then you come back and say, "Well, this is the time that you signed for." So, okay, the clients most of the time is not going to know that the timing, and I think that's what because who's the first one that they always hire is the venue. The first place they go to is the venue. So if you're not taking consideration, like everyone knows, the bare minimum for a decorator to set up is 3 hours. That's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
No one, and I say this, nobody can set up a venue within 1 hour, not unless they are not like providing a lot of services. Like,
Exactly.
there's no way.
It's
So for these
impossible.
venues to say, and that's why I said I laugh. Oh, we're gonna give you a complimentary hour. Okay, that hour means nothing.
Not
That
nothing, because
hour means nothing.
that's just bringing in items.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just bringing this stuff in.
Here,
So
here, here's the thing. Leah, take off your vendor hat for just a second. In all actuality, most venues are sold by the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones that recommend.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
We're the ones that point clients to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why would you treat us like that? Because we help sell your venue.
Oh, we help sell it all the time, because when you come to a planner, the first thing someone is going to ask them is that, can you find me a venue?
Yeah. And
Do
see
you
me,
know?
I
Do
get it,
you
I
know
get
a
it all the
venue? I
time.
mean, you get it all the time,
I
Mario.
get it all the time.
I
And that's
mean,
what I say.
we
And
ask,
most,
can you help us find a venue, and we need
Hello?
maybe a hotel, you know what I'm saying, for family and friends, or it's a lot more stuff that we do. But then when when you give us this little bit of time, and then it's just not good. It's no
Because
good. It's a lot of
our
stress.
word of mouth can make or break you too.
right.
Yes,
Because
oh,
that's
most
the first time.
definitely.
And
Most
see, like,
definitely.
and that was the first time I've ever had Iron Mike, that facility, because in the past it's never really been a problem, but it's like their policies have gotten so bad out there that it's impossible to work with. It's just like once upon a time, like Jazz on the Town, I've done that event numerous times, and they allowed them to get in at first thing that morning because they're setting up for over 400 plus guests.
Mm-hmm.
This time, for some reason, they were like, no, you only can come in at 2 o'clock. Okay, so you're giving them almost just barely 5 hours. Not even five, I won't say, because by the time you technically about 4 hours to go in, set up everything. Now keep in mind, all the vendors are all in here at one time on top of each other.
That's
So
too much.
that's a lot going on. And
That's
so
that's too much confusion. That's just
right.
too much.
Way too much.
So that's why I said, to me, it just showed me. Now, don't get me wrong, the event overall was a big success, but like behind the scenes, I'm looking at the band. I mean, I sat back, and as the DJ, I watched the band, and the thing was, they had so many sound issues throughout the night that if they would have got a good sound check, a lot of that stuff could have been fixed.
And I feel bad about that. That's so sad,
I do
because
too.
like I said, I really prefer to make sure that everybody have the appropriate time that they need to come in and do what they got to do. I mean, we have a quinceanera coming up next Saturday, and one of the things that she said, she's having a mariachi band, mariachi band. I can't even,
Mariachi.
mariachi band. And I was like, sure. And I was like, can they come early so they can kind of get everything together? Because it's Spanish music, and you got to make sure that you get the tune and everything right. And I said, yeah, we'll be here at 10. We'll be at 10. I know your event is not until the evening, but come, set your stuff up, go do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everything is straight. You have time to leave, go put your clothes on, get yourself together, and then come back for your show. But it's open for you to get everything situated. I absolutely hate when I'm stressed to go and do something for someone that paid me to go and do it.
Thank you.
Okay, that's like that's
And if
it's
somebody tying your
good.
hands so you can't get it done.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much, and then you have to end up charging them extra because you need extra staff to handle it. Once they told you that you only can have 2 hours or 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's
see, to me,
insane.
it just, you're setting the event up for failure,
It's
because
insane.
it's
It
more
is.
of a
It's
stress.
wrong.
And I think that's what upsets me the most, is that these venues are. That's why I say I was like, they better be careful, because I get my venue, I'm gonna put them all to shame.
I know you are.
Except for the diamond, but but it's just that, like, those are the things I want to highlight, because like with your venue and what you're doing, you understand that whole concept
Yeah.
of what is needed for the event to be successful, and people don't understand. But the venue that you choose, is you're choosing if your event's going to be successful or
Yeah.
hey Dr. CC, it's like it's going to make it to where it's hard for us to achieve success.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
once you see a venue has a habit of doing these type of things to where it's impossible to be successful, then like as a vendor, I cut them off the list, and I don't talk bad about them, but at the same time, I won't provide services to that venue anymore because you're not
Mm-hmm.
going to put me. Why am I going to accept a job that there's a high chance of it's going to fail?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and see
Mm-hmm.
that's the bad thing because you don't even your expectations of yourself is already high.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And you put yourself on a certain plateau. So you already know your worth and what you're capable of bringing to the table. But when someone interferes with that,
Right.
That's right.
and they put you in and then it makes you do something that you're not accustomed to doing or limit something that you want to give somebody because you don't have the appropriate amount of time to get all of that stuff done. That's just like you, Mario, if you came in here and said, okay, I'm going to set up this event and I didn't have time to put my TVs and stuff up, so now I can't do the videos, you know what I'm saying, the way I want to do the videos
Mm-hmm.
because I'm always doing the videos when I'm doing my DJing and stuff, but I don't have time to put that part up, but I got the speakers up. Well, you just gave me half of what I would normally have gotten from you with the amount of money that
Right.
I paid for you to do
Right.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for you as the vendor, and then it's uncomfortable for the client because they didn't get everything that they paid for because the venue decides that they don't want to give you the appropriate amount of time to come in and set up and do what you were supposed to be doing in the first place. So that's a very big issue, and that's why we just don't. I've been through it too much. I don't want to ever put someone else through that same thing. We want to be able to be there for whatever it is that you're needing. We're open to even help you out as well
But
to
one
make
of
everything run smoothly.
Yeah.
but the missing link in this thing is, and that's what I say, this is going out to all my future get or I should say clients, customers, is understand when you're shopping, understand what you're getting yourself into when you're talking about a venue. If a venue offers you a 12-hour package, take the 12-hour package.
Mhm.
Amen.
I don't care what kind of event you're doing,
Yep,
take the
take the
12-hour
12-hour
package.
package.
Because if you're just doing a basic party, then okay, you can get away with that. But if you're doing something and it has all the bells and whistles,
Take
take
the
the
12 hours.
largest package that the venue is going to give you.
Yeah.
Because like what kills me, and again, I can't completely blame the venues on all this because it comes down to the customer being cheap. The
Mhm.
customer don't want to pay what it's worth. You can't ask that you want to have the Latin to the extreme birthday party, but yet you still don't want to pay for it.
Mhm.
Um,
It
it's,
goes both ways.
it goes both
Mm-hmm.
ways, and that's what I say. I can't completely blame the venue
It
because
goes
venue
it goes both ways.
they do have it. But see, the only reason, like I point out the Iron Mike, is Iron Mike does not base it like you can't go in as a customer and pay for 12 hours. If you don't purchase a certain amount of food, you're not allocated the space nor the time.
Mm.
So your actual event is not based. It's weird. The whole thing now is completely weird.
Wait, 400 people.
So
They paid for 400 people to eat, and they couldn't get enough time.
That and see that is my biggest point across the board.
see,
Is
that's not good. That's not good
see,
at
Uh-uh.
I mean
all.
now don't get me wrong.
Because
I've seen it.
um if you're basing your time and everything on what on the amount of time that you're getting for somebody doing something as far as purchasing vendor things from you, that is definitely not the way to go. And then on top of it, you don't give them the amount of time that they
No.
need to set up. Oh, that is
And I
completely
think that's the part that bothered me about
definitely
this
wrong.
is that in the past, if you've done it in the past, and see, this is the thing is Iron Mike has been doing this event for years. They've been doing this event at Iron Mike, and they always, and I know because I was a vendor, and they would give them like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock that morning to come in and set up and do everything. For some reason, and it's not just this one event, but every event I've done out there at the Iron Mike within the last year has been an issue. Like I mean, it's just like one wedding almost got messed up because of she only had 60 guests, so they gave her a closet, a worth of space. And I'm like, okay, so like the thing is, okay, let's say y'all used to what a room is partitioned, right? It's normally partitioned into three sections. I've never seen them take one section and partition it three different ways and give them the middle piece. And then on top of that, within one of the other sections, you have the bigger, a better, not better, but a larger event going on. So where separation, now you got a whole nother room on the other side of the building that they could have gave that room to where there would have been a sound conflict. But there was a sound conflict because we're right there together.
Oh, you know what? That's totally unacceptable.
So to me,
Yeah.
that's why I tell people now is don't if you can't, and that's another thing is if you can't get the whole venue to yourself, don't do it. I mean, because this is the second time within this year where I've dealt with a venue being greedy. I'm gonna call it for what it is, being greedy, and there's no separation in two events going on at one time.
No, that's unacceptable. See, now we have the diamond venue is kind of sort of split up and it's kind of sort of not. So we do have it where we actually have two spaces. Okay. So sometimes I may get a call and someone may want to have an event. Let's just say we had an event one Saturday. Well, we had two events in one day, and the girl was having a wedding, and I asked her. I said, "Well, what time is your wedding supposed to start?" She said, "It's supposed to start at 11 o'clock." I was like, "Oh, so you have an afternoon wedding?" And she said, "Yeah, it's only for 4 hours. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. I think it was 11 to 3 or something like that." And so I said, "Well, okay." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. I have an event." Which is going to be in the Emerald Room, which is the other room that we have adjacent to the Diamond venue. So I said, well, let me do this here. I said, I can actually make this work for you. So you can actually come in and do your event for the time that you have for 12 to 4. But I'm going to do one better. I'm going to let you come in at 9 o'clock in the morning so that you can come and do whatever it is that you got to do. Okay. So on top of that, so that event took place and ended at 3:30. The other event was going to start at 6. So that was perfect. So
but they weren't overlapping.
But right.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
But it's impossible for you to do two events in the same area, even with a partition in there, not knowing
they're not soundproof.
that it's going to be a conflict.
Right. And so that's why
that's just like that's insane to have done that. Insane.
And see, to me, that's like this was technically the third strike with Iron Mike.
Well, they should have known. They should really know better.
Because they did a wedding.
A partition is not soundproof.
Right. But the thing is, they could have. And this is what the thing is, though. They had the ability to take care of that couple, and because they're down the hall. If you ever go to Iron Mike, they got the 3 sectional areas. And then they have
and
another
they got the 2 rooms. They have 2 rooms down the hall.
Right. So they could have put them in the other room away from the larger event because the event was, I think it was NAWSSC or whatever they call it, CP event, and they had a large volume of people. So to be segregation from the building, it could have been their wedding reception could have been on the other side of the building. So here it is, you come in, we're the smallest group, but you're telling us to turn our music down because it's interfering with the other event.
It's not interfering at all. You interfered with it.
Right. And so to me,
they interfered with it because they did the wrong thing by the client.
Right. So that's why I said, so this last episode with the Iron Mike was their third strike because that's 3 times now within 1 year where they could have done something to prevent the event going wrong.
I would have had to ask for my money back because you ruined my day.
Yep.
Well, the thing is, it worked out. That was just one thing. The couple, there was a young couple. They had maybe 50 guests. So the event it's like one of those things. The customer doesn't understand that something went wrong. We as vendors, subject matter experts, we know that was wrong for them to do that. But because the event to the customer was successful, they're good with it. But as a vendor, I know what they did was wrong
because we see a different light of things.
Right.
Very different.
We kind of like sort of read between the lines of a lot of things that's going on that you probably won't see as the person renting the space. So we have a whole nother question list to ask besides what you're asking for, because at that particular moment you just really want the space for your event. But we're going to go a little bit more deeper than that.
Yeah, because
True.
like I mean, me and Hutch had a long conversation about this yesterday, about when we were talking about the Diamond venue, and we're talking about all the new services. Because that's another thing. I'm let me get off this negative thing. I want to get back to the Diamond too. I'm just going to drop that because I just thought about something.
Yep.
What in the world? You got people walking on clouds now. I had to think about when I said Hutch. I had to say, you know what? I said, yeah, because that was the one question I really wanted to find out. You got them dancing with the stars and walking on the crowd. What is going on?
Well, that's Hutch for you. Okay. So he brought the idea of doing the walking on the clouds. Now, I've had events where we've had hired some other companies to come in and do the smoke and the walking on the clouds and stuff. But Hutch has specifically got it for the Diamond venue. He offers it other things, but he was like, no, we finna do the walking on the clouds. We finna do the sparkles and stuff. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so amazing, because it just adds extra volume to the Diamond venue. And so when you come in, these are other gifts that we give as far as different packages that we have. So those packages can be upgraded to you when people come in and be like, oh my God, you got walking on the clouds. And I say, yeah, we have walking on the clouds. So you can do that. So that's just an added extra for your bridal entrance or your quinceanera entrance or whatever it is, or if your birthday entrance or whatever. You can come in now with a little bit of sparkles going up. You can come in now with walking on the clouds. So yeah, it's exciting. It's
But
exciting.
my thing is though, but you're the and this is the part that I want. I want. Please share the secret to these other venues, because they won't allow some. I ain't gonna say all, but some won't allow the clouds. And I say what I said, dancing with the stars. I'm talking about the cold spark machines.
Well, the cold sparkle machines and stuff like that, those things won't interfere with your
So
systems
what
and
is
stuff
your
like that,
venue?
unless
What is your venue doing to be able to do both of those? Because some of these other venues and I'm talking more so here in Fayetteville, won't allow those things.
they're allowed them if it's just a certain party, they'll go in there and do them. But I mean, we offer them because there's nothing stopping us from doing that. I mean, we can't. There's nothing. We don't have anything attached to our space where it'll go off. Like there's nothing there. None of these items that are being used as far as the sparkles, the cold sparkles, or the dancing on the cloud, none of them will interfere with anything that's inside of your space.
Right.
Like it's not going to set nothing off. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to set an alarm off or anything like that. It's not going to do that. These are professional pieces of equipment. It's a professional person doing them. You know what I'm saying? We're not just going to have anybody come in there and just do it. You can't just tell me, oh, I have a sparkle machine. No, we have a certain person that sets it up, and a certain person that's responsible for it, and a certain person that runs it. So none of that will affect anything that goes on in the venue, that will set any alarm off or anything like that, or leave any type of unwanted residue or anything like that where it will be a danger to someone else.
Because
It's
some
not
of those cheap cold spark machines will leave a bad residue.
Yeah, some of them will, because it's not the proper dust that goes in them and stuff. And then you'll have something on the floor that may cause somebody to fall or something like that. But no, we try to make sure we cross every T and dot every I. So none of the stuff that we have in the venue will allow anything to happen to where like the sprinklers will go off or something like that. No, absolutely not.
It took a customer, like one of my customers that just hired me to DJ there, and they were telling me, yeah, they got the cold spark machine, the cloud machine. I said, who got that? They said the Diamond. I said, oh, they do. I said, oh, they just blowing up over there. Okay, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, we get a whole bunch of we get a whole bunch of toys.
All right now.
I was there when y'all received one of them, and I didn't want to leave.
And you didn't want to leave.
I didn't want to leave. So I mean, that's why I tell people it's like you get more when you have a venue like the way you run this thing is you understand the
Mm-hmm.
whole concept of a team with your venue. You're
Yeah.
Yes,
looking
yes,
out for the
yes.
vendors. You're making it vendor friendly. You're looking out for the
Mhm.
customer. And
Mm-hmm.
even after the customers probably only pay you for 12 hours, you're still giving them extra time. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is important because that's why now, when people, I say, look, go get a diamond. If you can't get a diamond, then you got go to the intrigue or go to a whole
Mm-hmm.
meal time because they're only ones I know that are extremely flexible with time. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
else, you got to pay for your time. On other venues,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
again,
$50
that,
an hour.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
Okay.
important to us to make sure that we're flexible because I'm coming in first from a planner's point of view.
right.
Mhm.
Period. So
And
That's how we look at
I
stuff first.
know
I
how
want people to
important
understand
time is.
this.
Time is important.
Right. And there's nothing, I want to say this, there's nothing wrong that the venues are charging you for your time, for those extra hours or stuff like that. But to me, I would prefer to work with a venue that's going to work with us versus have to
Hmm.
charge you extra
But
for us to do our
everything.
job. So that's just my
Oh
little
yeah,
take
most
on that.
definitely.
So that's why I say always go to the Diamond venue.
Yeah, that's right.
There
Come
you
on
go.
down.
So, with all of that being said, because we did kind of dig in on some of the things that can go wrong with venues and expectations, stuff like that. Y'all ignore my phone ringing in the background. It's gonna keep doing that while I'm up here. Every single Wednesday, it goes bananas. Um, just to kind of close it out to a certain extent, but I'm gonna let Mario actually close it. But just kind of bring it back around. Um, with with the diamond venue, you have the flexibility
Hmm.
that's necessary for vendors.
Hmm.
You have the time frame that's
Hmm.
necessary for vendors
Yes.
that allows them the ample time to set up, ample
Hmm.
time to do mic checks, to do sound checks, to do, get all their stuff in. um, you're giving them, they're paying for 12 hours, but you're giving them 14 hours,
Hmm.
your customers, that extra 2 hours of
Hmm.
daytime, because that's incredible. Because like I
Hmm.
said earlier, excuse me, most venues charge between 250 and 350 an hour to add
Hmm.
on, and you're giving them two complimentary hours right there
Hmm.
after they're booking for 12.
Hmm.
Crazy. I love it. Crazy. It's great. And then you've got, um, with going with Dom, you have the ability to actually get, and this is for those that come in who don't know a decorator, who don't
Hmm.
own linens, who don't know where to go. You can walk in and say, "Hey, I'd like to get married here,"
Hmm.
and I don't know anything about this, that, and the third. And then you
We
have
can do
someone in there
everything.
that can literally walk you, take your hand,
Hmm.
and walk you through the process
That's
because
right.
she's a planner
Hmm.
and then she's a decorator.
Hmm.
Then they have a catering company.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She got the linens, she
Uh-huh.
got the centerpieces, she got the.
Hmm.
You can literally go. You can walk in the door, book the building, give her your colors, tell her what your
Hmm.
favorite flowers are, tell
And
her what
come
your
back.
menu is, and then you can go about your business.
Yep.
Okay, and come on
And
back.
just come back on your day.
I'm saying. I mean,
And it's done.
that is amazing, and
Hmm.
I love it. I
And
love
it's
it.
done. It
I love
saves you
it
time, save you time and money and the stress. It's stress free.
automatically. Now that doesn't mean vendors that we're not allowed to go there. That doesn't
Oh
mean
no,
that.
absolutely not. I welcome
Yeah,
everybody in there.
yeah. I just want to make sure that maybe potential clients or customers know that it's semi sort of one stop shop. You
It
know what I'm
is. It's a one-stop shop
saying?
that's
Really? And so,
optional to you if that's
yeah,
what you choose. And I have a extreme list of wall of business cards from everybody that have came in there. So we have a great vendor family. You know,
gotcha,
so
gotcha.
we do offer other people to come in there. So that's not an, I mean, it's an option which way you would like to choose.
Mm-hmm.
The option is open.
Just wondering.
Well,
I just want to make sure that was clear.
one
Mhm.
question that came up is, do you have a team to support all that you provide?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We
I
have
know that
several
one thing
we
is,
have several teams. We have teams that decorate, we have teams that set up and serve, and we have teams that work on our catering team. So yeah,
okay.
we have enough people to take care of what we have to take care of.
And I think that's one of the things I explained to one of the clients, one of the customers, is that because that you are in a facility now, you have an established team for everything that you do.
Hmm.
So
Because
that
here's the thing. See, here's the thing. I'm there, but we also still have our other business that we run our personal things. So sometimes we may have an event there at the venue, and I may have an event outside the venue.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So and it's a possibility that it has happened more than one time. So guess what? I have a team that goes sets up for the venue, and I have a team that goes sets that follows me to the other venue. So yeah, it's a team for everything, and it's mandatory that it has to be that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know, like, that's one of the things that happened before is a caterer overbooked themselves. Yeah, I know exactly who they're talking about. Booked 3 different events on one day to cater, and one event they were late setting up. They were 2 hours late setting up for their event. Okay, yeah.
No.
I mean, that's something, and I know exactly what you did. That I know exactly what event that was. But I think that's more so the caterer didn't have the
Enough
enough
people.
people to
Yeah,
cover three.
we have to have enough people because, like I said, I do things. Cherie is my partner. She does things. She helps me with the venue. She does things outside the venue. I do things outside the venue, and then we work in the venue.
Right.
So
Mhm.
it's mandatory that we have enough people to go and handle these things for us. And the good thing about it is that when I say that we have enough people, I mean these people are a mimic of us. So
Right.
we can trust them to go and actually go and do a whole complete setup without us actually being there.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well,
I
that's
love it.
that's all the questions I see. So I'm like, Leah, look, we are so proud of you.
Thank you
I know
guys.
we both can't wait to get in your venue.
I
I
know, right?
know.
I'm
Cannot
telling you, it's like
wait.
I'm still having dreams and fantasies about those 80-inch TVs you got in there. And so I just can't
You
wait to
should have
get in
seen
there.
Mario that day when they came in here with the TV.
Mine is about
He's
the
pulling the chairs
chandelier.
up. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm just getting ready to get my pillow and my."
Yeah,
I got a phone call that day
yeah.
about those TVs.
I said, look, I like Ted. You won't believe it. Look, guess what I'm looking at right now. Like, boy, I kick my feet up on the
You
chair.
had like
Like,
Hutch would
yeah,
have come in
Okay.
TVs. Hutch he had to come. He came in and especially put a little bit of his little touch to him so that he could have it accessible to what he needed to do. I was like, oh my goodness,
yeah,
y'all are just too much. Y'all too
No,
funny.
you're spoiling. You're gonna be spoiling us. That's what it is.
yeah. That's what it
We're
is.
not used to
We're
such
gonna be
great
so used.
treatment.
Look, I'm not. Look, I know because I'm gonna go out because Skyview. I used to love Sky and Intrigue because I think Skyview and Intrigue are the 2 venues that have TVs in place for us to
They
hook
do.
into. And so Skyview has the 60-inch. I know Intrigue, they have their, was it the five, I call it the 5-star TV setup where they got
Hmm.
four
Yeah,
32s in
because they
one.
have theirs in every corner, which I
Right.
love because you
Hmm.
can see it from
So
every angle.
so to me it's like, then to see those 80-inch, I was like, I can't wait to put my little touch to it, and like, oh, and it's like, I'm like, me, I'm gonna just hook up, take a picture, I'm done, I'm going home. That's all I want to do. Just one video, play one video. I'm good now.
Oh my God, y'all are too funny. Too funny.
But
Well,
again,
Leah,
Leah, look,
we
ladies
love
and
you.
gentlemen, let's give it up one more time for Leah. Just like I said, she is the
Thank
coordinator
you.
at the Diamond venue. If you haven't seen it, please go check them out on
Yes,
Facebook.
we would love to have
I
you.
mean, you will just be blown away. When you go into this facility, you feel like you're not in Fayetteville no more.
I'm
Yeah,
So
telling you.
it's like you
true.
click your heels 3 times and you're in a whole nother world.
You know what? That's a good. You know what? I'm gonna use that little slogan. That's really good because you don't look like
Yes.
you're in Fayetteville no more. It really is like when you
Right.
go in, it's like, where's this place at?
Because when you look at the
Well,
pictures, like that's where in
Mm-hmm.
Fayetteville. Yeah, it's
mhm.
in Fayetteville
Yeah.
downtown. Where downtown?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like a
Okay,
palace.
Leah.
Are you
So
sure?
give them the address and give them the phone number before we
It
go.
is 328 Gillespie Street, and they can call me. It's 910-494-3305. Just ask
All
for Miss
right.
Leah.
And then, like I said, if y'all forget that, just do what y'all been doing. Just calling me so I can
Google.
forward right
Yeah. Are you? Oh, call. Yes.
there. All I just do is I forward right there to her. I say, okay, you looking for what?
Yeah.
The thing is, they call me. What's so funny? I'm just calling to see how much. Do you have any availability for your space? I got space now. Like what? Like, and then they started talking about, yeah, you did the video.
You're
You did
affiliated.
the video for it. And I was like, oh no, that's the Diamond venue. I said, I wish it was mine, but no, it's not mine.
You're affiliated. You say I'm affiliated though. I got the hookup.
I got. I was like, yeah. Look, the first thing I said, they got 80-inch screen TVs.
Really?
You're so funny. Oh my God. Oh Lord.
But ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for today. We did go over a little bit more, but look, we're just happy that
Yeah,
Leah,
but it was worth it.
I mean, definitely worth it because I think we may not get a chance to see you again on this show because you're so busy, you know.
Nah, I'm gonna be here. I gotta give y'all my schedule.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Look, see, that's what happens when you become famous.
Okay.
Yeah, cut it out.
All right. Well, look, everybody, look, y'all say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Okay.
And next week, like I said, we're going to continue on with our series of different things that we were talking about. But I know Leah, we had to go and we had to, like I said, we were just proud of you. We really had to do a show just on you today because
I appreciate it so much.
We really wanted to highlight your success.
Yes.
I love everybody. I love my brother and sister. Okay. They're my peeps.
And we love you right back, baby. And we're super, super proud of you.
So what we have is we have, like, because this is a special event, we have our red carpet party after this event. So we're about to go backstage. So we can eat our glassy high-tech donuts. And so y'all stand by. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see y'all next week.
All right. Bye.